What's this? A Young Justice review recorded actually in the afternoon? Greetings, geeks and geek girls. It is me. I am back for Young Justice. This was a very interesting episode that I'm glad I get a full review to talk about and don't have to. Dr. Chase comes to Violet and says, "You're dying." She claims, now the reason why I say claims is because there's hints that she might not be that noble, and all the other versions of Dr. Chase in Black Lightning and the comics have not been very friendly. So the fact that she might be a traitor and she might be lying to the team is a very good possibility. Also, she's talking to her mentor, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the dude from, I think it's episode 3, where we see her working with the light. So it might be that doctor dude. That'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. But yeah, she tells her that she's dying, that she's only got a couple months, but her and her mentor are trying to work on a cure. And this clearly... And she also kind of pressures her not to tell the rest of the team, which also makes me think that she might not have the most loyal intentions. That they might flip the switch on us and have Tara become good and have Dr. Chase be the actual traitor, which would be interesting. Because clearly, after given that news, Violet is distraught. And Dr. Chase basically tells her not to tell anyone. Psychological manipulation of Violet, who doesn't really understand the world yet, because she's still very new. So she's a little bit destructive. We see that she's not answering Brion's calls or texts. And when the team gets off school to go back to the Watchtower to train. Well, not Watchtower. I think it was the Watchtower, or might have been the new Outsiders Tower. Violet doesn't come with them. Instead, she chooses to blow them off and blow off some steam with Harper Row. Which is really cool to see Harper again, even though she's kind of a destructive force. But they also kind of explain that. Because you see, Harper is drinking alcohol. This is a kid's show, so they don't really say what alcohol. But anyway, so they're drinking together, Violet and Harper. And of course they've got a gun. Because of course they do. They're shooting some bottles, and we find out that Violet is very good with a gun. Which... that definitely won't come back into play later. But also, midst of all this, Harper kisses Violet. What the I don't know how to feel. Oh dear Bob. I just thought that could be a way to taint Prince Brion to go with Tara. I hope this show doesn't go that cliche route, because it avoids cliches. Oh, also, speaking of Tara, we do get to see more of Slade training her and her bonding with Artemis, which I feel like that's going to come into play later on and could be the thing that swerves the expectation of Tara being the traitor, which will be interesting to see. But anyway, I still haven't gotten to the main plot of the episode. The main plot of the episode is the Outsiders going to Cuba for an international mission to go up against Clarion, who has not only used magic to awaken, like, I think it's 7 different meta kids. He also magically, like, amalgamates them to this fleshy Lovecraftian monster. Very much reminds me of something from Stranger Things 3. I won't say because it's so new, but the team tries to take that on and protect the creature, the kids, from the Cuban government while fighting Clarion. And luckily they get some help from it, some incognito help from Zatanna, who shows up there covertly and helps them out. The team deals with the Cuban government and then also Clarion, while Zatanna dissolves the monster to its parts and then takes away the controlling magic seal on them. Then takes Clarion to Dr. Fate's tower, which I love that. I love Clarion's back and forth with his cat. And I love it where he's trying to get away and he's like, wow, dang it! But also, the world now gets to see the Outsiders and how they saved the day, which was really cool. They get back home where some of the team were sidelined because, I hate to say this, but I forgot who they said it was. A teacher passed away, so they were going to her funeral. When they get out of the funeral and drop off the kids, the new kids at the school, Ed, the teleporting dude, comes to them and says, hey, look, I was talking with the people and I want to be an outsider. They need someone who they can relate to. Now, it'll be interesting to see if he goes by his Super Friends codename, because in Super Friends he went by El Dorado, which honestly doesn't really make that much sense. And also it'll be interesting to see what kind of costume they give him. And then lastly, before, that was basically the episode, but there were 2 other things that I want to bring up real quick, because my TV tingles are flaring up. That's the only way I can say it. And I got a feeling that where is Dr. Fate is going to be a plot point for the future. And also, we now have Wendy at the school who can control wind, and we now have a new girl who looks surprisingly a lot like the princess from Disney's Atlantis. She shows up as someone who can only breathe underwater, and that's all we know of her powers so far. Might be more, so that's wind and water. I wonder if they are slowly building up the Masters of Disaster, or doing their own take on that, considering that Wendy was a part of it in the comics. But anyway, I've been going on for too long, probably. I will end it there, saying thank you guys for watching. Next time you see me will be in several hours for something completely different with Handmaid's Tale. But that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, and beyond. Need to come up with a better name for that, because TV Tingles doesn't sound right, and there is no Spidey sense, and I really can't call it Brian Tingles, because that sounds even worse than Peter Tingles.